Hey guys, this is Jeff Queen with you here at the Evans Factory, and we're going to be covering a little series I'm going to be doing, which is how to play better, how to play cleaner in a line. So this first installment here will be dealing with different touches and a few different exercises that you can work on to help you blend and balance better in your line. So first thing to tackle, you want to think about what does it mean to play clean? Well, if you're playing through some exercises or you're playing through some music with your group and you find that you're struggling to blend in, you really got to think that you only got 4 choices of why it's not right, okay? Most of the time you're too fast or you're too slow, so you're tempo-wise. So try to adjust that, right? Try to adjust the tempo in which you're playing and sort of the interpretation of certain rhythms, so those inside rhythms. So your diddle may be too fast or you may be early to something or late in that case. And then the other two is that you might be too loud or too soft. So want to work on a couple exercises here that will help you adjust that touch, and then also ways to sort of work with adjusting your tempo as well. So the first one up would be sort of a balance and blend exercise in terms of touch. So what we're going to do is work on crescendoing and decrescendoing without changing heights too much. Okay? So I'm just going to play 16th notes, okay? And I'm going to work on lightening my touch in a way to where I can play at the same height but yet get softer. So something like this. And then what I'm going to do is, again, adjust my touch. So I'm going to play at that height and basically do a decrescendo. So it looks something like this. Okay? And what I've done there is I'm sort of slowing down my stroke a little bit so it doesn't create as much sound. Okay? Because the way that it works, right, if we move from the same height and move the stick at a given rate, we're going to produce a certain amount of sound. But if I move from that same height and move slower, it's going to be softer. So that's basically what I'm employing for this type of thing. So once again with that, we're going to just play some 16th notes and work on decrescendoing without changing the height. Okay, and it gets tricky with the touch there, but you can see that that's a way for you to work on your balance and blend that way. Another thing we can do is the same idea and work on getting louder without changing our heights as well. So we're going to start low and then work on moving with a little bit more aggressive, a little faster stroke from that height to make it louder. So that's a great way to just sort of work on your touch, right? And a lot of times if your instructor's telling you, hey, you're a little bit too loud or you're not loud enough, those are some ways that you can employ that to adjust the touch on that. Now another thing being the tempo. So one thing that I do a lot with my students is just some listening exercises, okay? So a way to just play sort of 8 on a hand or a given amount of 16th notes or even a roll, and certainly the more dense that you get, the more difficult it is. But another great way to do it would just be to sort of play like an 8 on a hand exercise, right? And do that over an extended amount of time, but then start to adjust the tempo. So from like a line perspective, what I like to do is sort of point at a student and have them mess with the tempo. Okay, so we'll be playing just something steady. Point to them, and then they'll start to either speed up or slow down. So the group doesn't really know which way it's going to go, but they're forced to use their ears to then adjust their tempo. So it would look at basically something like this. So again, in the line, you sort of end up getting kind of a ripple effect with that happening to where people's ears are engaged. A lot of times I have the students close their eyes so their ears are a little bit more active in order to sort of engage the listening sense more. Not only that, but they can't then see the player inside them slowing down or something like that as well. So a couple great ways to work on playing a little bit cleaner by working your ears to adjust your tempo and your sense of what's going on in the line, and then also being able to adjust your touch through dynamics.